Pretoria, South Africa. Valentine's Day 2013. A night drenched in silence. No wind, no footsteps, no sound. Only the gentle hum of distant streetlights in a wealthy gated community. Then at exactly 3:17 a.m., that silence was obliterated. 4 gunshots. 4 cracks like thunder in a clear sky. 4 decisions that changed everything. Behind a locked bathroom door lay a woman lifeless. Reeva Steenkamp. A daughter, a dreamer, a voice. And in the hallway stood a man, shaking, crying, armed. Oscar Pistorius. An Olympian, a national hero. A man who had once defied every odd, except, it seemed, his own demons. This is not just the story of a murder. It's the story of 2 lives. One extinguished too soon, and one forever stained by what he did. Oscar Pistorius was born on November 22, 1986. Johannesburg, South Africa. To many, he would become a symbol of resilience. But his early life was marked by pain and loss. Born without fibulas in both legs, his parents were told their son would never walk. Instead of retreating in grief, they made a choice. At just 11 months old, baby Oscar underwent a double amputation below the knees. His mother, Sheila Pistorius, refused to raise him with pity. She often told him, "You don't need legs to stand tall." Her strength became his foundation. But the family wasn't immune to hardship. His parents' marriage fractured. Oscar was just a boy when they separated. And in 2002, tragedy struck again. His mother died suddenly from complications after a drug reaction. Oscar was only 15. He buried his greatest supporter and carried her memory onto every track he ran. Fueled by grief, he sprinted forward, first with pain, then with purpose. He became the fastest man on prosthetic legs. He was known as the Blade Runner. By 2012, he made history as the first amputee to compete in both the Paralympic and Olympic Games. The world cheered. But behind the fame, there were rumors. Of temper, of entitlement, of guns. Oscar wasn't just running toward greatness. He was running from something too. Reeva Rebecca Steenkamp. Born August 19, 1983, in Cape Town. She was the light in her parents' lives. Elegant, witty, deeply intelligent. Raised in Port Elizabeth, she had dreams that stretched beyond beauty. She earned her law degree with distinction, hoping to become a voice for those who had none. Her modeling career soared, but her heart remained grounded. Reeva was also a survivor. In 2009, a horse-riding accident crushed her spine. Doctors told her to prepare for paralysis. But she defied them. With pain and perseverance, she walked again. And with every step, she grew stronger. She wasn't just a model. She was a speaker, an activist, a fighter. Her mission? To stand against gender-based violence. To empower women to walk away from toxic relationships. It was more than a cause. It was her calling. And then, just months before her death, Reeva was chosen as a contestant on Tropica Island of Treasure. Her star was rising. Her voice was getting louder. But fate had other plans. Their story began like so many others. A meeting at an event. A shared smile. A spark. Oscar and Reeva were introduced on November 4, 2012. 2 public figures. 2 attractive, charismatic personalities. They became inseparable, at least in public. Social media captured the highlights. Glamorous dinners, photos in designer outfits, awards shows. To the world, they were perfect. But behind closed doors, it was different. Oscar had a history of volatility. He once threatened a friend with violence over a woman. He kept guns under his bed and carried one in his car. Reeva, too, began to notice red flags. In one chilling message, she told Oscar, "I'm scared of you sometimes, of how you snap." She told friends that he was jealous, possessive, quick to anger. Still, she stayed. Why? Because sometimes love is a maze with no exit. Sometimes we hope the person we love will change. Sometimes we stay too long. Until it's too late. February 13th, 2013. Reeva made dinner. Oscar posted a photo of the meal on Instagram. They went to bed around 10 p.m. Then, just before dawn, gunfire. Oscar claimed he woke in the dark, terrified of an intruder. He said he didn't notice Reeva had left the bed, that he heard a noise in the bathroom, and fired. But the evidence painted another picture. Neighbors testified to hearing screams. A woman's voice, then silence, then shots. Reeva had locked herself in the bathroom. She brought her phone with her. Was she trying to call for help? Was she hiding? The autopsy showed she was fully dressed. Not in bed, not asleep. She was shot 4 times. One bullet shattered her skull. The others tore through her arm, her hip, her hand. Forensics proved all the shots were fired in under 6 seconds. No pause, no warning, no hesitation. Police found a cricket bat, a blood-soaked towel, 2 cell phones, and Reeva's lifeless body. This wasn't a robbery. It was something else entirely. The courtroom became a theater. Flashbulbs, headlines, testimonies broadcast live. Oscar's defense team claimed fear drove him. They described him as anxious, vulnerable. They said South Africa's violent crime epidemic made him paranoid. The prosecution didn't buy it. They painted Oscar as impulsive, angry, and dangerously possessive. They detailed his obsession with firearms, his history of aggressive confrontations, his need to dominate. Over weeks of testimony, the world watched as Oscar wept, vomited, and broke down in the witness box. But the facts remained. Reeva had locked herself in the bathroom. She was calling out, and he kept shooting. In 2014, the judge found him guilty of culpable homicide, manslaughter. He was sentenced to 5 years. But justice stirred again. In 2015, an appeal court overturned the verdict. Oscar was found guilty of murder. The sentence, 13 years and 5 months. This time, there was no more running. Oscar Pistorius served nearly 9 years behind bars. In January 2024, he was quietly released on parole. He now lives in Pretoria with his uncle, away from cameras, away from the track. He's no longer the Blade Runner. He's just a man in exile. But Reeva's absence echoes louder than any sprint he ever ran. Her mother, June, has become a voice for the silenced. She visits women's shelters. She fights to change the system that failed her daughter. She said, "Forgiveness is possible, but trust, that died with Reeva." And the world, it watched, it learned, that even the brightest heroes can cast dark shadows. That sometimes the monster doesn't wear a mask, it wears a medal. Was it instinct? Or was it rage? Was it a tragic mistake? Or something far more sinister? We may never hear the full truth from Oscar. But the evidence tells its own story. A locked door, a terrified woman, a man with a gun, and a choice that ended a life. Reeva Steenkamp should be here. She should be laughing, living, changing the world. Instead, she became a statistic, a headline, a cautionary tale. Sometimes the darkest evil wears the face we trust most. Sometimes it whispers love and fires hate. You've been listening to Dark Truths, a reminder that evil rarely looks like a villain. Sometimes it looks like a champion. What did you think about this story? Did Reeva Steenkamp and her family get justice? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Her voice was silenced, but her story still speaks. Let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to help spread awareness. We tell real stories that matter. Stay informed, stay aware. See you in the next video.